Welcome to another episode of Foodietown, where I interview foodies doing cool things in their community. And today I have Anna and Adam from Mystic Pizza. They have one of the coolest food trucks I have ever seen, and they're here in Kelowna, where I'm based. And so I always wanted to ask them about their food truck and running a food truck in Kelowna. And so here we are today. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
us. Yeah,
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
So I was doing a little bit of research and I saw that you guys actually acquired the food truck from previous owners. So what was the process like? How did you guys meet? How did you guys figure out that you guys shared a passion of pizza?
Good question. Do you want me to do that one, Anna?
Yeah, go for it.
So we actually met through Anna's partner, Taylor.
Fiance now.
Oh,
Fiance
congratulations.
just very recently. Yeah, and so we met through rock climbing basically. That's our other kind of passion in life. So yeah, we're big rock climbers and I was friends with her fiance Taylor and we climbed together a lot and then I met Anna through Taylor. As far as the food truck goes, it would have been 2 summers ago. We were actually celebrating Anna's birthday, and we were out for a day of climbing. And then afterward, we were in the park at Skaha Lake, and we were kind of barbecuing. And something I had been doing casually for a number of years was like making pizza. Basically, I had one of those unis. A lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
are doing that now, right? So that's kind of like my origin story with it. So I brought the uni and made some dough and made some pizza. And I think Anna made a mostly joking comment that maybe we should open a food truck. Like that'd be fun. And we said, haha, that's funny, that's cool, whatever. And over the next like couple months, we kind of kept joking about it, and then it kind of became a reality. We
Yeah.
realized we weren't joking and that we really did want to do it. And
Yeah.
yeah, we were both kind of passionate about the idea. So that's the origin story.
Amazing. So you guys,
Yeah.
you decide to jump on it. And so I imagine the testing of the recipes would have been a lot of fun and a lot of fun for your friends as well, I would assume. So you're testing
Yeah.
recipes and then you decide to seek out like a food truck, or how did you get this very unique food truck? Like I've never seen anything like it.
The yeah, the food truck, we're lucky to get it. So yeah, we had decided we wanted a food truck, and I think at the start we were pretty picky about what we wanted. And then, we were looking into building them and what it would take to build one. And I realized that, like building a good quality food truck was probably out of my wheelhouse. Like, it involves like everything if you want it to fit, like all your whatever, everything in there to fit properly.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be custom. It's like custom metal bending and custom welding and custom everything. And it was, out of my wheelhouse. So, I was looking into like companies that did that. And there are companies that specifically build food trucks, basically like that's their business. So I kind of priced that out, and then we looked at what was on the resale market, and we ended up finding one in Kelowna. The one we have was for sale in Kelowna. So that was like, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was super
Very
lucky,
lucky.
and
Yeah. Meant to be.
it was
Cool.
it was it was pretty close to, exactly what we were looking for. For anyone wanting to start like open a food truck or start operating a food truck, it's more economical to buy one used than to build one.
Mm-hmm.
Having one custom built is much more costly. So yeah, we feel lucky that we found the one we found, and it was in Kelowna. We didn't have to travel for it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's what
have an
happened.
actual video here. If I can, let me go here. Let me you can see like how maximized the space is. It was a
Mm.
short video, but the space is absolutely maximized in there. And I imagine like there's really only space for like Anna. I've seen you take the orders on what is like the when you're standing in front of the food truck, the left side of the food truck, and then Adam, you are just pivoting and moving so fast, churning out those pizzas. So I imagine it was a little bit of a ballet to kind of perfect the process. So how was that? Like first getting in there and figuring out, okay, how can I make this work with such small space?
Believe it or not, we've actually had 3 people in there for a
Oh
few like
wow.
events and stuff,
Amazing.
which gets even tighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, the trailer, the previous owners like really, I think, knew what they were doing, and they'd been doing it for a while. So they built this one later, and they clearly like knew where the space needed to be and like where they were going to be. And that kind of helped us. Like you said, we just stand and pivot most all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our zones for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you need to invade the other person's zone, you're probably going to bump into each other, and we're used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all part of
So
the flow.
so are you both involved in creating the menu, or is that kind of just like maybe Adam does that, or who has like do you have a chef's background or
Yeah, I've been like working in restaurants since I was 14, so
okay.
I don't know, it's like 18 years or whatever. If
Yeah.
now everyone knows how old I am. And then I went to culinary school like maybe 10 years ago, and I actually basically was in fine dining since then. So yeah, the culinary background probably is mostly from me, but Adam also helps with the menu and like puts his ideas. He's kind of like the pizza connoisseur, and he tells me
Hmm.
what he wants, and then I like try to make it happen most of the time.
Oh,
Like
okay,
he's
cool.
the pizza guy.
Yeah. And so do you have like all your friends kind of come down, or is it just you two kind of working it out and testing and taste testing and
In the early days, a bit of both. Like we'd
yeah.
try to kind of like get some things figured out and then bring people in and do, okay, well, let's try this sauce and that sauce, or okay, we're going to do like this hydration and that hydration and get people to taste it and give their opinions. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think what we figured out is like, is the pizza like what we want it to be? But it's always fun to have people come and
Yeah.
tell us what
It
they
was
think.
hard to get a consensus with what
Yeah,
people liked. I thought we
Hmm.
had a lot of people test and a lot of mixed signals and mixed
yeah,
reviews. So I think, yeah, at the end of the kind of day, what we decided was we're gonna do what we thought was right. We kind
yeah.
of
Yeah.
went with the mentality that we're right and we're gonna do what we want.
People are
Yeah.
so passionate about their pizzas. Like, so yeah, I can imagine coming up
Yeah.
with a lot of different, you'd get a lot of different opinions for sure. But you guys have settled on a sourdough pizza dough. So tell us about that because that is truly unique and it really is amazing for flavor.
Yeah, that was my, like, hard one thing I wanted. Adam really wanted to do pizza, and I really wanted to work with sourdough. Same thing that I've had a starter for, like, 10 years, so I
Oh,
was,
wow.
like, really enjoying working with it, and I went traveling for a bit and realized I maybe didn't wanna be in fine dining anymore, but I still really wanted to work with sourdough. So, the reason I think it stands out is obviously each one is unique, like, it's unique to the baker's hands, to the environment around it, the water, the flour, everything adds different like microbiome kind of
Hmm.
different yeasts and bacterias. Commercial yeast is one strain of a bacteria, whereas sourdough has like probably like hundreds, thousands, millions, I don't know, like a lot.
Yeah,
So that
amazing.
all impacts and changes the flavor. And then it's like a little more work, but to me it's worth it.
Oh yeah. Like it's
Yeah.
it's really great. Like if anyone's coming to Kelowna, you have to stop by Mystic Pizza because the pizza is so good. I do see a question from somebody who is watching here. It says,
Oh.
"Is there any kind of pizza or topping you refuse to put on the menu?"
Not well, I mean, Adam maybe is more picky than I am.
Not really. I
No.
mean, we've if you look back through our Instagram account, like we posted all our features and we've had all kinds of things on there.
Hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I think like the weird combinations and the unique pizzas that yeah, there's a market for it and people like that stuff. So, yeah, we're willing to try some weird stuff and yeah.
Yeah, I had your guys's Maple Fest last year, your guys's
Oh, yeah.
featured pizza, and that was really
Nice.
good. Yeah, so I love how you have like the classics on there. You got to have like my kids love the pepperoni, and
Yeah.
for me as a mom, like it can be difficult getting a kid to try like a wood fired oven or like a pizza that doesn't look like Domino's, essentially, you know.
Yeah.
And to me, that's gold if you can get the kid to try it, and they loved it. They actually loved it.
Nice.
So to me, that was very special. So as a
Yeah.
mom, like I know I can like take my kids there and support local and everyone's going to be happy. You know, it's not going to a chain or whatever, but yeah, absolutely delicious. So since that, I want to kind of tie that in. How do you feel about a pineapple on pizza? Kind of sometimes it can be a polarizing topic for sure.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
know. I'm a true Canadian. I love
yeah,
pineapple on pizza. I get extra pineapple.
absolutely. It's like
Yeah.
sweet, tangy, like yeah, sweet and salty. Everybody likes sweet and salty, and then I like to have it with green olives and pineapple, which is extra weird, but it's like I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
I love pineapple
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. Adam,
Adam.
what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'll preface by saying we're considering putting it on the menu for this next year. We're gonna update
Okay.
our menu in like about a month or so.
Hmm.
Because it's such a small menu that, I think, yearly we're gonna update it. So in about a month or so, it might be on this year's menu. But I mean, like, yeah, I love pineapple, great food. I love pizza, also amazing. Together, still good, but is it like, my
Not your
favorite
favorite.
combination? No. But like, I respect that people's
Yeah.
taste buds are different, and that's fine. It's like obviously a super popular pizza for a reason. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I actually also love adding peaches to pizza with like prosciutto. It's just one
Mm.
of my favorite kind of
Yep.
sweet and salty combinations. And then we got another question. What's the weirdest pizza you've done so far? You thought it wouldn't taste good, but it turned out amazing.
Ooh, I don't know,
Well,
Anna. What do you think?
I think the weirdest one maybe like was the apricot, but it and like at
Oh.
first it wasn't great. Like that was the first feature that I think I made, and I was like, it's gonna be good. And then
Right.
we tried, and we're like, oh, this is
Oh
actually
no.
not working. But
Like it
Yeah.
then
was very
after we
tart,
tweaked
right?
it, yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
apricots were like
Yeah.
way too tart, so I had to like stew them in some honey, and
Oh, I see.
then we did that with guanciale and I think some like roasted
Oh,
hazelnuts and
that
peas.
sounds amazing.
Yeah, so then it turned out really good. But at
Yeah.
first
Oh,
we,
okay.
yeah, that was
Had
my
to
first
sweeten it up a
blunder, I
little
think.
bit. And we're so spoiled here for produce. So I'm whenever there's a feature pizza, I gotta try it because whatever's in season,
But yeah,
you can't go
Yeah.
wrong.
I
Yeah.
go to the farmer's market, especially in the summer, but I try to go every week and use that as inspiration for the features. So
Oh yeah.
more likely than not, the feature's coming from like a local farm in one way
Yeah.
or another.
That's great. Yeah. So that was one of my other questions. Like you source all your ingredients locally or as much as you can anyways.
As much as possible.
Yeah.
I actually grew some stuff this year, which was really cool for the
Oh wow.
pizzas, like some basil and kale and whatnot.
Hmm.
And then yeah, we get what we can from local farms and farmers markets, and then some of the staples, like the really like Italian tomatoes are just better. So we get those
Yeah.
from like Valoroso, and we get like New Zealand grass-fed mozzarella from them. And so it's either like a really like good local product or it's like a really high quality, like best of the best product that we can get kind of like from Italy. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, they perfected the sauce game and
yeah.
the tomatoes are just so amazing there. So I also wanted to ask, so Valroso is your kind of like one of your go-to for ingredients. That's really good to know. I do love Valroso too. Like it's hard to find good guanciale. I did find some at the Mediterranean market, but is that where you get Valroso from for your guanciale and all that as well? Or
We get a
It
lot from
depends what's in
Valoroso.
stock.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
We
yeah,
go to Med Market too. They're also
oh yeah,
great, but
they're great.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think, we get our mozzarella and our tomatoes from Valoroso, and they're kind of like we're there weekly, and they're yeah. We find that like the service we get from them and the quality is the best.
They have like they do wholesale accounts for businesses as well. So that was
oh okay,
kind of a
oh that's
no-brainer.
good.
Yeah.
We just got another question. Do you find so this is a question. Is brick and mortar the end game, or are you happy with the food truck? Somebody asked, do you find is it better owning a food truck than a brick and mortar?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
When we started, we last year, our thought was we're gonna have more food trucks, and we wanted to do like smash burgers, and we had all these ideas, and we were all excited about it. And then, kind of as the year went on, we started to discover like the struggles of owning a food truck and the limitations of it. And so, because of that, we kind of shifted our goal to opening a brick and mortar. So our like big dream would be to open one, in maybe like May 2027, so in a year and a little bit is kind of like the big dream. But if that doesn't happen, maybe in a few years. But
Oh yeah,
but yeah, that is our goal. Like it'd be really nice to have a kitchen where we can do all the prep and
yeah,
and and we don't have to pack things up and move them places. So that definitely is the dream.
nice. Okay, that's good
Yeah.
to know. We'll definitely look for it.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So people can find you at Barn Owl. I know that on Monday and Tuesdays, correct?
Monday,
Monday, Tuesday,
Tuesday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays now. Okay, that's awesome. So is this like your just a passion project right now and you're trying to work towards it full time, or is this your
Yeah, this is it. We quit our jobs and we went all in.
oh amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Last summer, we operated 7 days a week, so
Yeah.
it was so much work. We probably worked, in the peak of the summer, 70 hours a week, and we also hired somebody that
Oh
worked
nice.
4 days a week. So it was more than a full time job.
Yeah.
So what were
Yeah,
your previous jobs, if you don't mind me asking?
I was a manager at Mech for a few years,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then
And
I
that
was
makes
doing
sense
like
with your rock climbing
yeah,
passion.
and then I kind of switched from that and was doing like residential renovation type work because I
Oh, okay.
thought that maybe I'd like start a business and get into that. But then I kind of, gave that a shot for a year and a half or so and decided that no, I want to make pizza.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were in the hospitality industry already,
Yep.
right? So,
Yeah, I worked at a few restaurants in Kelowna over the years. I was at Quail's Gate when I first moved here, and
okay.
then Waterfront Wines I worked for a bit. And
Okay.
then most recently I was working down in Oliver at Backyard Farm, which is
Oh,
like a really incredible place. But I was just, yeah, not wanting to do fine dining anymore. And I think Adam and I don't know, Adam can say too, but we were both sort of at this point where we were like, I don't think this is what we want to do anymore. So it was like a
yeah.
really good time for us to like go into business together.
Yeah. And it must be so fun, like owning a food truck. Do you think that Kelowna is like a food truck friendly city though?
Well, there's a huge tourism industry here. So in that sense, yes.
Hmm.
But, the double-edged sword of that is that, like, the city knows how important tourism is, and their tourism plan is pretty well built out. So because of that, there are more restrictions.
Hmm.
Like, we can't pull the trailer down and, like, pop it up on the street downtown. Like, it's not we're not allowed to do that, right? Like, in West
Yeah.
Kelowna, you could do that, and a lot of other municipalities, you could do that. But here, you've gotta be on somebody's private property and have an agreement with them, or apply for, like, one of the specific allotted spots that the city has, and if you get one of those, then great.
Yeah. I find that kind of a bummer, really. I When you go to these big cities and you see so many food trucks and you can see
Yeah,
how much foot traffic it actually brings to downtown centers, and it doesn't take away from other businesses. I think it just adds to it, right? Like you just if I'm going down, I'm not going down to specifically get something from a food truck. I'm going downtown and I see a food truck and I'm like, I want to check that out in addition to what I'm already doing, right? So I'm
right.
still gonna go for drinks after. And so I think that we're kind of missing out on that aspect because we have so much creativity here. We've had some really cool food trucks come and go, unfortunately, and I think it would be in our best interest as a community to kind of look at that again and maybe open it up. I know that some people have said that it's just not welcoming downtown. The businesses are kind of worried about
Yeah.
taking away, but I don't from other communities that I've seen that have food trucks, I don't see that, right?
I love
So,
that mentality. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
I love that because that's exactly how I perceive it too, is that, yeah, it's the core downtown restaurants that probably oppose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I see we have another question. Was funding an issue for you guys, or did you have enough money to start it yourselves? Small businesses get kicked around, so or were you guys just ready to
Ye
jump in,
yeah,
or was it
yeah, no, we both kinda had some savings and then had a bit of like, we both had a little bit of a loan to start it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad.
So other than maybe the permits and stuff, what is the challenges of owning a food truck that you've come across? Was it like hard to get permission to like operate at Barn Owl? I know they're very welcoming to food trucks, but is it difficult for the other days of the week to get your spots or
In the summer, it wasn't. Like, in the
no?
summer, we
Yeah.
kinda, yeah, reached out to, a handful of places and, like, pretty quickly had a couple places and had a full schedule. Like, over the winter, we just did 3 days a week because we didn't know if we're gonna keep going through the winter. Like, a lot of food trucks stop because it's cold outside and,
Yeah.
foot traffic is lower, so you're not gonna make as much money anyways, and then it's also cold, right? It's a little bit harder to actually to actually do it.
This year's been pretty good though, I have to say. It's been pretty
Yeah.
It has
awesome.
been, and so that's we made it through the winter doing our sort
Yeah.
of 3 days a week, and yeah, I was waiting for the -20 cold snap and just to throw in the towel and go, "Nope, not
I
doing it,"
know,
but
me too. Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
uh but, like, no, we reached out to Barn Owl and it was like, yeah, it worked out really well. Like, they were excited to have us, and it just like, the relationship we have with them is amazing, and so that's been really, yeah, it's been really easy. And then, yeah, we're kinda, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
I think
So
Yeah.
where are you on the other days of the week, or does it change quite often?
right
Because there's Barn
now it's
Owl for
just Barn
3 days.
Owl, and
Oh,
then
okay, okay.
I think our plan is to add more days at Barn Owl,
Oh,
possibly,
okay, great.
and then events. We're gonna be doing more events this year and some weddings and stuff like that. So we kind
Oh,
of
that's
left our
exciting.
weekends open for that.
Nice. That's exciting. Yeah, that would be cool. So let's just see. I just want to make sure I asked all the questions that people have been asking me to ask you guys because you guys, as I said, you guys were after I posted the video, I got so many comments about like just inquiring about your business model. And I said, I don't know. I just went there to eat. Like it was just a really cool spot and I wanted you to check it out. And I do get a lot, even to this day, I get a lot of food trucks being like, hey, like I saw your food truck video of Mystic Pizza and I'm interested in coming down. But I'm like, it's not as simple as that. Like, you can't just show up like a different city and just start going. You really need to like have your kind of things in place. So do you have any advice to maybe food truck owners who are looking to kind of come to Kelowna without obviously giving away any of your secrets, but any advice?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a big tourism town and it's competitive here, so make sure you've got a good product, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah, I
and
think
and
that's
yeah,
good.
the
plan
advice,
plan ahead.
yeah. I mean, we were told a lot before we started. Same thing, like lots of people wanted to like give us advice because everyone wants to like help.
Hmm.
And a big one was like, make sure you know how much work it is. Like, I think even we probably didn't know how much work it is. Because like Adam said, we were working like 70 hours a week and you have to like really love it and want to do it, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I know. I think that's really good advice, especially like knowing that you have a good product. Like you can't just
Mhm.
roll in with just like a full menu of like burgers and hot dogs and stuff. This town kind of demands a little bit more than that for sure.
Yeah.
And okay, so is there any website that we can reach you at? Like, I just want to make sure I'm directing people to the right spot here because I've got your guys's Instagram here. And
Yeah,
is there
yeah.
anywhere
The
else that people
website
can
is
find
is
you?
just mysticpizza.ca,
Okay,
and
perfect.
there's a contact form on there, so you can shoot me an email through the website.
Perfect. Yeah, because if you're available for events, that's really cool. Like I would love to attend an event where I'm at a wedding and you guys show up like for late night fights or
Yeah.
something. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
we've left Friday and Saturdays kinda
Oh, nice. Yeah.
open through the
Yeah.
through the season for private events. So, yeah, if anyone has something going on a Friday or Saturday, let us know.
Perfect. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I know it's early, so I do appreciate you guys both being here. Yes, somebody just asked if you're available for private functions. Yes, definitely. So that's awesome. So are you open to collaborating for different menus with say a bride and groom or
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
We've already
yeah.
done that.
oh cool.
We
Oh,
do like
perfect.
salads and stuff too for private events. And yeah,
Oh,
we can
nice.
we can get a little more, um,
Adventurous and
yeah.
that's cool. That's great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys doing this again, especially kind of on a shorter notice for sure. So yeah, thank you. And did you guys have any questions for me or anything like that? Or
So, you made a reel about us in the spring, right? Yeah,
yeah, last year, yeah.
and so was that just a spur of the moment decision
It
when you
is, yeah.
saw us? Yeah, okay. That's
Yeah,
very 'cause we were surprised about it, but
Yeah.
it's a good surprise, right? Whenever someone does something like that, we're very appreciative, right? It's like
oh, yeah. No, if
it's
I
good
see something
advertising
cool,
and
yeah,
yeah,
if I see
totally.
something cool, I don't really wait for opportunities to come to me. If I see something cool,
Right.
and of course, me and my family really enjoyed it, so I enjoy talking about it. Like that's just how I kind of operate. So I love to go out and explore my own food scene and support local. And yeah, you guys are literally I'm just up the hill from Barn Owl, so I drive
Oh,
by
nice.
often. Yeah, so
Nice.
yeah, it was just such a cool thing to see. Like I've never seen a food truck like that. It's just so unique.
Yeah,
And your
well,
guys' product, like your pizza is just absolutely amazing to learn that it was sourdough. You guys make your own sauces. That is so cool. Like everything was just so good and the whole family enjoyed it. Like I loved it.
oh, it's
We've got
amazing.
we've got another question coming in. My husband is a pizza connoisseur. Any chance you can come and make pizza in your food truck? Ha ha ha. Okay. I'm sure for a private
Yeah.
event, right? You gotta
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Well,
Well,
we're
thank you
we're
guys.
we're always happy to talk about it, and
Hmm.
if
Yeah.
they come down to Barn Owl, like if we don't really have secrets. If they want to talk about dough and how like our process with dough, and what our hydration level is and what kind of flour we use, we're pretty open about it. Also, if they want to come down and talk about it, then yeah, we welcome it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much again. And we can see you on at Barnell on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Thank
Awesome.
you, Marissa.
Yeah,
Thanks.
appreciate it. Thank you guys so
Yeah,
much.
thanks.